of them. So he made, all of them are dead. Only him and Brian wamebaki. So it's a matter of you taking up a decision about your life, focusing and moving on. Brian.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My official names are Brian, but I go by the names Beast, but not the evil one in the Bible. And I'll get to
the
that.
Beast.
Yes. So I grew up in Kibra as well, and my story is so long, I think I need like 2 weeks to tell you everything that has happened, and still it's not going to be enough. But long story short is, I think if I was asked to choose another life, I'd choose this one again. And it's because of the things I've been through. I mean, one day I was a street kid in Uhuru Park. The next day I was running from police because of mistaken identity. Growing this hair, they wanted to kill me, and they're like, oh, where ni mwizi wewe? And one day I was sitting with the Prince of Saudi Arabia talking about what I do. I play video games for a living, and I've been able to travel the world, talk about esports, mentorship, and surviving and growing in Kibra. What Jacob is saying, I had over 30 friends. I think we're left 3 of us. And you see this happening every other day around you. And you know, people talk about depression, but what goes through that place is not even depression, it's crazy. And the one thing I realized is every time you fall down, I mean, I've done almost 17 jobs, but security, photography, graphic design, hotel animation, I've done everything. I know everything. And the reason I do that is because I tell myself, or where we grew up is, if I don't know everything, it's death that waits for me. And I've told myself I've survived so much to just die like that. So mine going forward has been to grow, to mentor, and that's how you see we are friends. He has the school with the kids, I do the mentorship, I share with them what I've seen in the world. Part-time, I'm also a firefighter, I help in fighting fires. COVID, I was doing food runs and feeding the community. So for me, I feel like I need to give back to that community because I am me because of that community. That community shaped me into the man I am today, and I thank you for having us here today. And if you want to know more about my story, please find me. There's a lot to share on every topic of life. Thank you.
Okay, for the ladies, he's single. He's single for sure.
I have a reason for that. So it's tough. And maybe you will, let me give you this as homework. So I'm a firstborn, raised by a single mom. And I started taking care of my mom as early as I was 9 years old because I was already working then. I'm not built like this because I got the gym. No, I lived a hard life. I was fetching water for the last 20 years of my life. I've lived by fetching water for people, pulling cocotenis, pouring trash for people. That's how I became like this. So the responsibility of taking care of my mother, my grandfather, my grandmother, and my 7 other siblings, and the extended family at large is the reason why I'm single, because most of the times, and this is something I want to talk about here, you find girls, they like you, and then they realize, oh, you have a lot of responsibility at home, so they want you to cut ties with family and start yours. But for somebody like me, I don't think I'm at a space where I will say, bye family, now it's girlfriend time. No. Some of these things are choosing, and it's life that bestows that on you. Some things you don't choose. So for me, I said, oh, I'm the leader of this pack. Well and good. When I find somebody who's ready to be with me and my family, well and good. Ama namna gani? Because sindo. Yes.
Well done. Tuwapigie makofi mazuri. So for the student leaders, he would like to have more time with these guys. He also didn't tell you how he learned. Just 1 minute. How did you learn? You know, ni mtu wa slums. Alikuwa street child. So alijuaje video game. And now his work, he trains for Olympics. Mlikuwa mnajua video games kuna kuanga na Olympics, na world competition. Mnajua na watu wanalipwa do. Just slightly too. Mtu wa street. Alijuaje video game mpaka sasa yeye ni trainer. And earn from training in the entire world. He travels a lot.
Yes, so funny. Before we were poor, we had a good life. My father drank alcohol until we lost everything. And before that, my uncle introduced me to video games. I was raised by movies. Mi nilikuwa wale watoto wa Commando, Rambo. And the day I saw video games and I could shoot something on a screen, my life switched to that and I just became pro video games. I didn't know that later video games was literally going to save my life. And I'll give the example by when my friends were outside playing football and getting into vices, me, I used to work, fetch water for like 20 or 30 jerrycans, and then get money to go and play video games. Or at the same time, by then, nilikuwa napigwa kwa sababu my mom didn't understand what is gaming. So every time I had to work, to make sure I have enough money to buy food, to take home, to bribe my mom so she doesn't beat me after I come from gaming, yeah? And I did this throughout my life, tangu class 1 paka form 4. And in 2013, I found out about esports and video games. I saw somebody play a game I play, and they won 100,000 USD. And I was like, I play this game as well. Why am I not in this space? And I got into that. And to date, I have competed, won, done mentorship on gaming. Right now, I can say I have the title of the African Gaming Ambassador, which is something you don't just get like that. So it's something I work with pride, and I know that, put my back into it. And, by the way, school, we didn't go to school. We learned English and interaction through video games, everything we've learned through that. So, yes, feel free. There's a lot to learn in that space. Thank you.
Let us appreciate them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Are you inspired? Are you inspired? I've told you, let fear not be your stumbling block. You can, if these two, they are real examples, kule Mungu wapeleka, so even you can. So finally I've said, get an accountability partner. Mtu atakuwa akikuuliza kama umeamka, umefanya homework, exam una perform aje. Learn to check on each other, because I know sometimes watu wakiwa shule, if you see somebody has disappeared, the person who's coming to church, they are not coming. Just learn how to check on each other, ask them how they are doing. And I just want to say, in Lamentation 3:22, when I said about forgiving self, because sometimes you make mistakes and then you don't forgive yourself. We say, steadfast love of the Lord never ceases, and his mercies are new every morning. So, because God's mercies are new every morning, if you have messed, if you feel like you had lost the way, this is the day to change. I'm not doing an altar call because I'm not a pastor, but I want to thank all of you. And finally, if really you are down, seek for help. As we said, it's okay to say no. It's also okay not to be okay. If things are really bad, seek for help. Usinyamaze, seek for help. So today we officially launch the mental health program for our university students in Kenya, in Uganda, in Rwanda, in the East Africa. I want to request our panelists today and the partners today that we walk this journey together. Together we will change the lives of many of our young people, because we need a generation that will take care of us, a generation that will come to parliament that is more responsible, a generation that will take up leadership with a lot of responsibility. We need to have families that will stand. And I always say the mistakes we made, we don't want you guys to repeat them, because we have walked through the journey. We want to mentor you so that you don't repeat the mistakes we made, and that you can be able to have a good path and a good future. And once you guys stand, our nation will stand, the world will stand, and we'll have a beautiful world to live in. May God bless you so much. We will be calling this thing Eagles Movement. We want to soar high. The traits of an eagle. It is something that has been in my heart, that eagles soar very high, okay? And we'll be telling you how you're going to be part of Eagles Movement. We are going to be online. We can be talking to each other. Then you can recruit others to join the Eagles Movement. Because eagles soar high. And even when an eagle gets old, it refreshes itself. If you look at the story of an eagle, at some point when it gets old, it unplugs all its feathers, the beak and everything, then it refreshes itself. Because we are not a generation that is supposed to give up. We are not a generation that is supposed to die because of drugs. I know there's a lot of weed and drugs in the universities. There's a lot of alcohol and everything else. We are a generation that can say no. We are a generation that we will know timing is the best. We are a generation that we will take care of ourselves. And thank you so much for coming. And so the mental health program is officially launched in our universities. And greetings, this morning I was in Murang'a County. Greetings from Her Excellency, Pastor Dorcas, the wife of the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. We had a program similar to this, but for on youth empowerment and mental health also in Gatanga, Murang'a. That's why I started in the morning. And I told her I'm coming here, and she said when I come here, I pass her greetings. Umesalimika. And I also invited her. In the month of October, 10th of October, we will have a walk. We are inviting all the students in universities and colleges to join us. We will have a mental health walk. And I've also requested her that she'll join us. We'll get more guests to join us. We invite you. Let us walk this journey together. Asanteni sana. Mungu wabariki. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, our chief guest. And I'd like to request you to remain just on stage. There is a little activity we'll be doing together. So as we get Anita on stage. All right, asante sana. I think we can hand over this notebook to, all right.
It's nothing but Mahesh.
All right.
Let's give her a better clap, kindly. And thank you so much for being the, what are they called? The first ones. You know, we've officially launched.
The pioneers.
Yeah, the pioneers.
Pioneers.
Yeah. Yeah, congratulations for being the pioneers. Clap for yourselves. So we are going to walk through this journey together. The next one, we are going to Uganda, and I'm hoping we can all of us go. And the Makerere University is watching. Thank you so very much, and everyone who is online for being patient. We really appreciate you. So right now.
All right, so we'll first invite Pastor T to come on stage. We'll have just one photo, and then the rest of the speakers will join us here before we do the next part, the next ceremony. Let's appreciate Pastor T. He has not failed us. Trust you me, he will look at you when he gets here. Trust you me, just watch. At least you tried. So we'll have one photo for the keynote speaker and the chief guest.
All the cameras on them. Come out. Okay. We can also
All right. So as we join the photo, we'd like to invite Dan and Lorna.
Yeah. Before that,
Rona?
sorry.
Yes.
Actually, you remember how you guys are registering online? Yeah? We would like to hear your feedback. Please, please, please. Anything you want us to improve on, whatever you've not liked. I know we've kept you guys for long, but don't worry. We are going to have lunch. And please give us your feedback. Anything, if you need help, just write to us, and we're going to get back at you. So right now, in the topics you'd like us to speak on, yeah, kindly use that same link. It's still open, and we'll be really, really happy to hear your feedback. So right now, we want to have Daniel and Rona, Mr. and Mrs., do this photo. We can clap for them, actually. They're the brain behind this. No one puts aside. Let's clap for them. Sorry.
Okay, all right.
Also join in on this.
So remember the condition, when the MCs are taking the photo, you smile, we take the photo.
And actually, this is the team that began this. We started like this in Parliament. We had a small conversation, and this was birthed. Clap for us.
All right, thank you so much. And as we stand there, let's invite all the speakers,
All the
and the
speakers,
panelists
kindly.
on stage.
Everyone.
Please, rush to the stage.
First time.
Cindy
Then-
from DC3,
then-
please join us on stage. All right, camera crew, let us know what works for you.
Appreciate this team kindly also.
All right, so joined by the speakers and the panelists.